Previously, on Talk That Talk. You will find us. All right. Before we get to the Paul, where you from? I gotta ask that question.
Columbus, Ohio.
Ohio, okay. Because the way you said envelope was very, very
I
hilarious.
said envelope or
Envelope.
I was kind of raised in West Virginia too, so I got a little.
Got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, when you said that, I just couldn't stop laughing. All right, here we go. Here's the lightning round, man. Are we preparing our young musicians for concert percussion from a macro perspective? I'm not talking about what you guys typically or want to do within your classrooms, but from a totality and macro perspective. Are we preparing our young musicians for concert percussion from a macro perspective? Lightning round. Quan, go for it.
No.
Larian.
Hell no.
Cushion.
Not enough. No.
Tay.
I'm with Kush, man. Not enough. Not enough.
All right, Paul.
I'm there. Not enough. I third that.
All right, Teddy.
No.
All right, so
I swear I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, over here on the East Coast, we definitely got our kids ready, because we push the envelope when it comes to playing,
But it's still relative, bro. It's still relative, dog.
And it's like I think we said that because we know we are, but then we also thought about it like, oh, I could be doing more. Never mind. Yeah, I think that's why I know that's why I said it.
But we get into bigger issues, man. Like I've been listening to this episode and the previous percussion episode, and it's so much deeper than what we're saying. So I think it was a couple people that kind of came on last time, and we're talking about middle school, and I think that's the basis of where a lot of our issues are happening. That back of the room syndrome, man. Like that joint kills us. And then also like when we said the not enough thing. I'll use my program as an example, man. When I first, I hate to throw my school under the bus. We making some changes, but I gotta talk about how it was when I first got there, yo. When I first got there was a xylophone that was completely taken apart, and it was used as the flag, like the auxiliary. They had like their flags in the frame of the xylophone on the floor in the front of the band room. The bars right? Full of dust, spiders, whatever. There's one other xylophone, right? That one was put together, and that was it, dog. That was all of the melodic percussion, minus the timpani. So
you got to think about you got to think about it like this, though. Again, now this is where we can start getting into the instructors and what the instructors are really about, and most of the times when you go, at least down here in Texas, majority of the instructors that we have are, people that's really trying to relive their marching days, and marching percussion was the only thing that they focused on. Versus now in, just on this panel, it's people in here that, that are just pure percussionists across the board. So this panel right here, and a couple people that's in the comments, they're gonna push, concert band and UIL and solo ensemble and expose their kids to all these different platforms versus somebody that just wants to play 2 and 4. I just want to be a tenor drummer. I just want to be a bass. Like, you got to be for real. These are the people that's running lines now.
I'm gonna say this too, and I'm gonna say this not as the percussionist. I'm gonna say this as just the band director, and then I'm gonna let Quan go very quickly. But the thing that I've realized too is that while homogeneous classes is something that a lot of us grew up in, as of now, I just don't think that they're successful as they need to be. I think that heterogeneous classes are well. No, I apologize. Let me. We grew up in heterogeneous, but I think that we need to be in more homogeneous classes, because of the fact that we need to be able to give a little bit more attention to these specific instruments. I've seen the success on both sides of the story and both sides of the spectrum. I've been able to work in a situation where it was more homogeneous, and I've seen how the kids developed a lot faster and they felt a lot better about playing their instruments because you were directly focused on them. But I've also been an educator in a heterogeneous classroom where Lil Johnny's messing up on playing his saxophone note, and the percussion is sitting back there trying to figure out what they need to do. Then they just start beating on everything, and then all of a sudden they get lost in the sauce, and then you trying to help the little trumpet play over here and the trombone over there, and then the clarinet ain't got their reed turned right because they got the whole reed messed up and the ligature upside down, and then the percussion is sitting back there like, all right, bro, like what we doing? Like then they start beating on stuff and then fighting each other and then start kicking each other in the nuts. I mean, it's like I think that unfortunately, heterogeneous classes just don't work anymore. The sad part about that is in most urban inner city, so low socioeconomic areas, you're not going to get the ability to have a homogeneous class. They're going to throw kids in your class and say, make it work. Even starting from that middle school perspective, I really believe, and I will 100% agree all the time when Quan says this, it's definitely an infrastructure problem. It is a problem where we're not setting the kids up for success because we're not starting them in the time that we need to start them in the situation they need to be started in. What we do is they need to take these quote unquote middle school college classes, which makes absolutely no sense, or they need to have this class, or they need to have this class. No, it's just banned. So if we need to pull them out, we'll pull them out or whatever. And then, or they just don't take it, or they sign up for it and they never get it, and they end up in art, and then they get to high school and they like, well, I want to be in the band now. It's all these different facets that typically happen in the urban areas that are very, very big disadvantages to band directors and music students. So when it comes to the percussion side of things, absolutely, I think that there needs to be homogeneous education that is happening on the music education side, and it really needs to be happening across the board. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening. But Quan, go ahead.